Yes, guys, everything bite-sized here. I hope you're all doing well. Today we're back with another film review and we're going to be looking at the movie 28 Days Later, which is a classic. Go watch it if you haven't seen it. We're going to start off with the first IMDb review, which is very in-depth, and then I'm going to give my own thoughts on it. This review is titled A Modern Classic. Perhaps I'm a little biased. After all, this is set in the city I live and work in, and seeing Oxford Street and Piccadilly Circus, which I pass by every morning and which are usually teeming with crowds of people, completely empty, was enough to send shivers down my spine. Usually when you watch a movie like this, it's located in some nondescript mid-western village, which makes it easy to detach yourself from the events unfolding on screen. But seeing them occur in the place you call home is something that gives it an entirely new sense of reality, and one I was previously unaccustomed to. Still, judging 28 Days Later entirely on its own merit, it's an easy to arrive at conclusion that it's a fantastic achievement, as well as a coming of age of sorts for director Danny Boyle. It's true that sometimes minimalism can be more effective than overblown bravado, and it's definitely true for this movie. It's the scenes of complete silence which get to you the most, an entire metropolis empty. The grainy picture serves to add a documentary style quality to the film, which makes the whole situation seem almost too real to bear. You will occasionally meet people who thought 28 Days Later wasn't scary or gory enough. These are the same people who would tell you that 2001 was boring or that Memento was confusing. Ignore them. Others didn't understand the purpose of the second half or were confused by its change of pace. However, I personally regard the second half as very important because, as another reviewer pointed out, it makes a very succinct point. What is scarier, the end of the world or the world being repopulated by maniacs? 28 Days Later, like the Romero zombie flicks of yore, is ultimately an allegory of the days we are living in, an age in which we are constantly confronted with violence by the media, much like the ape right at the start of the film, where violence begets violence and humanity faces an uncertain future. I applaud Danny Boyle's bravery in making 28 Days Later because he undoubtedly took a huge commercial risk when the majority of the cinema going public might prefer escapism to words of caution. Remember, rage is a human-made disease. Quite the allegory there. Like most great masterpieces of their time, 28 Days Later has been misunderstood by a considerable amount of people. I have no doubt it will go down in history as a classic, the one movie which perfectly sums up the confused era we're living in. And even if you didn't like it, it would be advisable to give 28 Days Later another chance. It's a haunting experience when looked at from the right angle. Danny Boyle has many years left in him. I hope he'll continue making more movies like this. Wow, that was a really good review. I'm going to leave it at that for the reviews on IMDb, and then I'm going to give my own thoughts. So, the first thing I really like about it might seem quite shallow, but the first thing I really like about 28 Days Later is how realistic the zombies are. It's believable. You can imagine it happening in real life, like for instance when dogs get rabies. Even the zombies are really good actors. You've also got the wholesome element of humans banding together for survival and the emotional bonds they form as they face adversity. But you've also got the humans who take advantage of each other. I'm not going to spoil it, but it gets very dark and there's some very upsetting scenes. It's emotionally charged and electrifying at every step, and even when it's quiet and there's no dialogue, you can feel the tension. It's palpable. It's action-packed through and through. Like I said, even the quiet scenes are very, very tense, and even the quote-unquote chill scenes where there's not much going on are very, very intense. It's very smart how this movie was shot. It feels like it could actually happen like that and the world could turn out like that. That's what makes it so scary to me. But even though it scares the flipping hell out of me, I will watch this movie over and over again. I've probably seen it about 10 times and I'll continue to watch it throughout my life. It is amazing. I love zombie movies and I love The Walking Dead, but this has a different unique flavour about it. It's not just another zombie movie, it's a masterpiece in and of itself. You've been locked into Everything Bite Size. Check out my other content and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.